Welcome to the Holistic Mystic Show. My name is Sommer, and I'm an energy alchemist, ceremonial facilitator, and teacher of intuitive development. Here we explore spiritual growth, intuitive gifts, energetic hygiene, and ritual. You'll also hear the behind the scenes of real life walking this path. This is a space where we talk about the deeper work of becoming a clear channel for the divine. If you're someone answering the call of your soul mission, you are in the right place. Let's get deep. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Holistic Mystic Show. My name is Boston, your girl, and I'm here to talk to you about something that we overlook a lot, especially if you are in this space of personal development, intuitive gift development. Um, if you're someone that is woo-woo, looking to start a private practice with your healing work, your healing holistic modalities, and that is the foundations. In my opinion, I have received a lot of trainings. I have been in this industry for a while, over 10 years. And there's these subtle nuances that aren't taught in a lot of places, but they're absolutely necessary. And they're one of the biggest missing pieces in this industry, in this. So, as I have been walking in this space over the years, one of the biggest things that I've noticed is that sometimes, I won't say all of the times because I do know a lot of really amazing, gifted healers that have these qualities, but a lot of the time, the inflated ego of the person with the quote unquote the most gifts, the most shiny, whatever, they're not usually the person that I trust the most. Now, you would think that because they appear to have all their shit together, that we should trust them. But the person that I trust the most is the person that has discernment. They are the person that knows how to steward their energy. They're really responsible with their energy. They can leave a client session, have a difficult conversation, or, you know, be in a shared community space without leaving their junk there or taking it home with them. They know how to clean up, per se. Their energy hygiene is impeccable. And that is someone that I trust the most. They basically are someone that leads themselves. They know how to walk the talk. Like they do what they say they do behind closed doors. You can tell, you can feel it in their field because they carry like a certain frequency or vibration. When I first started opening up to my gifts a lot more about a couple years ago, I thought that I needed to become more, right? More experienced, more intuitive, stronger gifts, stronger messages, like just open my channel more and then, have the biggest insights and downloads all the time. I do think those have a lot of value, but what I eventually realized is that having a an ability to be receptive to these gifts or these messages, these downloads is not really the same thing as being skillful at having your gifts. Just because you can feel energy doesn't automatically know you know what to do with it. Just because you're intuitive doesn't automatically mean you know who it is, what it is. Like, just because you're intuitive that doesn't automatically mean that what you're channeling is good or the voices in your head are uh there to serve you. And don't get me wrong, this is definitely something that I have had to learn how to do because it doesn't come easy. Like, no one teaches you discernment. No one teaches you like how to really truly steward your energy. Uh it's a practice that you have to cultivate, right? No one can teach you how to walk your talk. It comes from within, and it comes from a set of I want to say a certain standard to hold yourself to. And now that you're aware, because I'm talking about these things, you get to choose whether or not you are going to uh, rise to a higher standard for yourself, your private practice, your sanctuaries that you create for others, like your healing rooms or even your home, because we are a living example of the work that we say we can help others achieve. So we got to be good. Our vessel has to be good. These are some of the biggest patterns I've noticed both within myself and the people that I support, whether they're my clients in a one-on-one energy workspace or coaching space, or even my students. The few things that I've come to understand is that most spiritual spaces focus on these gifts, right? Intuition, your psychic abilities, channeling, healing, awakening, opening up your channel and opening up your third eye, uh, so that you can hear more, you can sense more. And yes, we absolutely do need to learn about these things. I think it's important to understand specifically what your unique medicine is, what your unique gifts are. And I do teach this to my students. But the spiritual space spends a lot of time talking about gifts, but we spend a lot less time talking about these foundations that are required to hold these gifts with responsibility, with impeccability, with ethics and a certain standard, like I said. Intuitive gifts, the biggest thing that I've noticed is that intuitive gifts are often they're a byproduct of a strong foundation of really tending to yourself, really tending to your roots, learning how to build and cultivate this energy muscle within yourself to have energy harmony. Because when you do, that's the stronger your channel, the stronger the tree can become. You are the tree in this metaphor. And when you have self leadership, you have energy stewardship, you know how to discern the voices in your head, whether they are yourself, right? And yourself could be your higher self, or they could also be wounded parts that are be given the microphone. They could be spirit, God, divine, or they could also be entities. Who knows what you're channeling? And this is also another thing what I teach my students is intentional channeling. This is huge because you start to open up to your gifts, but you don't know who or what you're channeling. That can become dangerous. And then lastly, one of the bigger foundational pieces is living ceremoniously. And these have become the most important principles in my own work as a healer, a facilitator, a teacher. Without them, I'm nothing. Without them, I don't know who I'm channeling. Without them, I don't have a good, solid foundation to support my clients or my students. And then who knows what I'm imprinting on them, because we energetically imprint on our clients and our students. So if you are out here probably with the most beautiful intentions to help, but I'm guessing you're listening because you want to learn responsibly, we have to know what it is that we can energetically project onto our clients, whether that is a higher timeline blueprint, or are you energetically, like, because you have to connect into the grid before you go into a session. Are you imprinting that, their highest timeline, opening up the space, the portal for them to find themselves and their own soul, or are you going in that space kind of unsure? Hopefully you're sure. You may be energetically giving them some of your junk, or or they might, without proper boundaries, be energetically siphoning from you. Who knows, right? So a lot of the times, like, a lot of intuitives, they'll read books, they'll listen to podcasts. Hey, you're here. They'll take classes, they'll buy oracle decks, they'll consume all this spiritual content, yet they still don't trust themselves. They still second guess what they're hearing. And they probably still wonder if they're all making it up. And I think that's because information alone does not create confidence. Confidence comes through practice, reflection, honest reflection, feedback, discernment, and having support. Most intuitives don't need another book. They need somewhere where they can be witnessed and reflect what's going on for them. Understanding, okay, this came up. What does that mean? And then having a mentor or a teacher that can be honest with them, help them find their own answers within themselves. Um, they need somewhere to practice, ask questions. They need feedback. They need community. They need to be seen in growing their gifts. Like our tribal, in our tribal days as a collective, we were witnessed. A lot of other people saw how their gifts came online for them, and then a lot of mirroring happened. We have what's called in our brain mirrored neurons. So basically, whatever happened, like whatever I see you doing, then okay, I know that that's possible for me too. And it might come out in a different way, but I know that I'm capable of something, right? It helps to create confidence and a sense of belonging. And so when you have these foundations, you have community, you have the other things that I mentioned, right? The learning how to trust yourself, learning how to discern, learning how to hold impeccable spaces, and learning how to live ceremoniously where everything is a gift, everything is a lesson, everything is a chance to reflect and open your heart to the beauty of life. And through these rituals, I teach my students through these techniques with elements that I teach my students, and these shamanic practices that they learn how their intuitive gifts come through them uniquely. They learn how to create this solid foundation. We need stewardship. We need discernment. We need to learn to connect to our own heart and our own devotion, what that means for us. Because we are this whole thing is about becoming a clear vessel for spirit to move through you. The goal is not to become the most gifted person in the room and become that flamboyant person, and yes, it's amazing if you've done the inner work to let yourself fully be seen. I think that's beautiful, but it don't mistake that when you see people in these spiritual spaces as that, instead of it being an inflated ego because they don't really know what they're doing. And I will share with you, we kind of all don't know what we're doing, but when you know how to follow, you have such a close relationship with spirit and you know how to follow the next breadcrumb, you will always be certain, you will always be sure that you know that you're following your path, because that's how you build trust. You become a trustworthy steward of energy, of your gifts, because you know how to listen. And when you know how to listen, you can discern, okay, is this my intuition? Is this spirit moving in and through me? Or is this a wounded part, right? When you're making decisions, when you're helping someone and offering guidance to someone, when you're helping your family, we have to know how to create strong roots. And that is exactly what I teach my students in my program called Clear Channel. If you're someone who's intuitive, sensitive, highly sensitive, I'm guessing you're here because you're highly sensitive. You're trying to figure it out. You want to learn how to cultivate discernment, stewardship, relationship with your gifts in an ethically and responsible way. I would love to invite you into Clear Channel. It's a 3-month apprenticeship for rising healers, emerging intuitives who are ready to develop a clear relationship with their gifts. They want to walk this path with trust, structure, integrity. I teach you a framework and a methodology to know that you you can learn how to develop this intuitive muscle. It is a practice, but that's the practice that through time you will learn how to do, and you don't have to do it alone. If you'd like to learn these very important foundations, go to the show notes. Thank you so much for being here. I trust that this served you. And until next time, go out there and share your light with the world and tend to your roots. Namaste.